Hey everybody, welcome to another Retro Game Night. I am Player 1, Damien DiCarlo. I have Player 3 today. Michael Losi's here.
What's up, Damien?
We are in the studio, sir.
Yes, we are.
We are here.
The experience, right?
We have our own little studio today, and going forward, I think this is going to be a wonderful fit. We have the best people working with us and good equipment, so shout out to them. So we're going to do an awesome episode today. I'm very excited. This is definitely one that Retro Game Night has to do. We, in this episode, are going into space.
Yes.
We're talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, people. This is one that has been highly anticipated after the last Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, before we get into anything, I got to say the episode is full of spoilers. So if anyone out there has not seen it, definitely go check it out first, because we're going to be talking about a lot of what goes on in it. And it's definitely one that is very surprising, with a lot of cameos and a lot of different things. So go watch it if you haven't yet. Let's go with expectations. Expectations are always something to consider when going into a movie, playing the latest video game, anything that you can think of. Expectations are riding in to a certain degree. I'll go with myself here first, and then I'll get your thoughts on it, Losi. My expectations for this film were very high. It was something that I was really looking forward to. I absolutely love the other movie right before this. I thought it was well done. I even like the 1993 Mario movie. I like them all. So big fan, to say the least. What were your initial thoughts going into it? Like, as far as like expectations, what were you hoping for?
Definitely say the same. I think the first movie exceeded itself, right? I think it had a bigger impact than I imagined. I loved it as soon as I saw it, and I guess everyone did as well. And I was really happy to see that reception, and so I did actually have high expectations for this, right? This is Galaxy, right? This is like the next biggest thing. So
the next big one. Yeah, I thought going in, all right, let's see if they can do this again. They had the same cast, but then you had some new additions. My immediate reaction was, when I walked out, that was amazing. That's what I'll say. That was my reaction. Now, there's some things to consider, but no hesitation there. I wasn't like, let me think about it. Straight up, I thought it was amazing. That was my thoughts coming out of the movie. But let's talk about the story. So the story and the plot, we don't have to get too much into it, but I mean, it's like pretty much every other Mario game, at least the newer ones, definitely. Is the story deep? No. Is the plot deep? No. Is it groundbreaking? Also no. But here's the thing. It is predictable, but I had a lot of freaking fun with it. It was so much fun. How do you feel? Do you feel like you mirror that?
yes, and no, though. I just want to rewind just a little bit. I left this movie just slightly disappointed. I feel like they could have done more because of the story. The story here was just quick.
Yeah.
Everything in this movie seemed really quick. Even to the Easter eggs and the cameos, they all seemed very, very quick, like just rushed. Really, doesn't seem like they really wanted to dig deep into each of the things, if that makes sense.
It's so true.
And that's kind of what I took away from it. I was like, well, it was different, but at the same time, it was fun, right? Yes, I agree. It was fun. I was there, just myself and my daughter, and I was loving every time a cameo would come on. I would scream their name. I was chanting and cheering. I was that dad in the movie theater, and I think I embarrassed my daughter probably. But I did have fun with it. And so I think, yeah, it was weird for me because it was still so beautiful though, right?
Yeah, it was.
It's illumination, and you either love or you hate it, but it is still very appealing to the eye.
Yeah.
And everything it grabbed your attention for sure.
For sure. The colors, the sound, the sights were great. I would say I agree with what you mean about some gripes or disappointments. However, that was my initial thought leaving, but that's why we're doing the review, because there's a bit more to it. I would say that a lot of people did complain about the plot. I think that the plot, and I'll play devil's advocate here, I think that that's kind of like every other Mario game, because they're not really deep on plot. It's about, there's a problem, let's go fix it, jump on things along the way. So it's really just, it's about getting the problem solved in a video game.
Yeah.
There's some RPGs. There's other stories that are deeper. I don't think Mario's that kind of a game. But we have to consider this is a film. This is a family film. This is an adult film. This is for everybody. So I would agree with both sentiments. I think that it needed a deeper plot, but I also accept it because it's just like the other games. It's not really too deep.
Sure. Yeah, I was a little surprised by a few things. I think the focus on the characters is actually kind of what surprised me. I definitely feel like there was less of a focus compared to the first movie on Mario and Luigi, for example.
Yeah.
And definitely on Donkey Kong. You barely saw Donkey Kong at all in this movie. I think he got a little brief clip in the very beginning, and that was it. Like, other than that, there was nothing else. And yeah, Mario, Luigi, they were there, but it was more about Yoshi, I would say, and Princess Peach, right? I think they actually, if anyone, they dug really deep into Princess Peach, and that was kind of it.
Yeah. And it's weird because looking back too, I didn't think that Bowser even had much of a real role. I mean, he was subjected to the fact that he was shrunken, from the last movie. Okay, so his fear mongering was kind of diminished, to say the least. And now Junior was the, main focus as far as the bad guy goes. So I think Jack Black did brilliant in the first one. I kind of felt like he was a little bit robbed in this one, but I get it. The plot didn't necessarily call for him. It, however, was a little weird. Bowser Jr. is cool. I just felt like I needed to see more Bowser again. Probably because I just loved the character so much the way they did it the first time.
Of course.
Yeah.
I agree.
But then admittedly, I haven't played the Mario Galaxy games. And this is another thing I wanted to say in this podcast. Retro Game Net, unfortunately, we focus on retro games. Galaxy is still retro now. I just haven't gotten there yet, admittedly. I've played more Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, Mario World, and pretty much everything prior to 64, I would say a lot.
Well, like you said, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this. And even going back to the 93 movie, right? There was that one scene where it kind of looks like it's like a Blade Runner-esque looking scene.
Yeah.
And that's, I believe, an Easter egg to the original Super Mario movie, is to my understanding. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's so much to you'll miss a lot.
That's why I need to go back and see this movie again, because it's that same thing with the first movie. Every time I rewatched it, I saw at least one new thing every single time. And I guess just to touch on that, I do feel like the Easter eggs in the first movie were just better placed. Mm-hmm. You'd see they'd have unique restaurant names or the title of a book or something lying on the shelf. And it's just like, oh yeah, that's kind of funny, unique.
So maybe it was a little bit more, I guess, carefully placed to being more of a, maybe subtle, strategic. That would be the word.
Strategic.
Yeah.
Where this one, there's just like flashes or hints of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give the Easter egg one of them?
You got it, because we have full spoiler. Fox has done this.
Your favorite candy on Fox McCloud for sure.
I mean, that's the one I freaked out on. I didn't expect it, freaking out. And yeah, Fox McCloud had his moment, and this was like something that I didn't quite expect. I wasn't necessarily following all the cameos of what would be in this film, so that one was a surprise.
And that's total retro.
Total retro. This isn't one that I think that the new generation just understands just how deeply rooted in the retro it started. Super Nintendo started with the FX chip, and this was the first game that started it that was technologically advanced for a cartridge. It was already mind-blowing technology-wise, and then you had an amazing game, and then you had some cool characters, and so it started to very, very, a very milestone impression for me. That was the big one. And did you have any other cameos you remember that you want to give a shout out or mention?
Like I said, Donkey Kong, right? He was really just a cameo.
It was, yeah.
I was like, oh, I wanted more, but I guess he's a cameo in this one. Other than that, it was cool to see, I guess, newer stuff, like the little Pikmin guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it was just lacking, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more in this one. I wanted to see a little bit more.
A little bit more of the cameos? Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough.
Well, because like you mentioned Jack Black, for example, right? He was in the first movie. He was a bigger star, I would say.
Yeah,
sure. And he had the Peaches song, right?
Yeah.
There was more of that originality, I would say, in the first movie, whereas this one, it just kind of repeated itself in a sense.
Okay. I could see that.
It's a sequel, and I guess we got a sequel, right? We got a sequel.
It's a part 2 for sure. And I don't know if it, again, I forgive it a bit more just because of, I think I put in the realm of the games where they didn't have much going on, but maybe we needed more plot, more impression because of the last movie and how well it did. It raised that bar. And maybe we needed that. Maybe I shouldn't be so accepting of just the fact that it's just a game because this is a film. But let's talk about some of the main characters. I'll start off with Mario. Mario, I think, is always going to be quintessentially the best video game character put in anything. I think he's great just because of the generation that we grew up in. He's definitely a more modern version. I will say this time around, finally reflecting on the second time around, Chris Pratt's doing this character. It's less stereotypical, less exaggerated. You're not getting the heavy Italian accent like the other portrayals. It's clearly a more PC-friendly version. It's obviously just more updated in general. I mean, I don't know many people that have that strong Italian accent in general. That also, I live in LA, so I don't know many Italian people in general. But it's just more of maybe something that was just a subject of its time. Maybe now a more modern.
We're filming in New Jersey next time.
I mean, we'll go to New Jersey. Yeah, maybe I'll find a lot more of that. But anyway, I thought he was authentic. I thought it felt great to a character that is all encompassing what a Mario brother would be.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of the main character that stood out to you?
Again, yes, Mario for sure. He's that. You have to have him central, right? But he did have a seat back, like I was saying, in this movie. I did think like everything didn't just kind of revolve around him.
Yeah.
I feel like Yoshi was literally just as big of a character in this movie.
Yeah.
If he might have been, I might have been like almost Batman and Robin in a sense. And I think he was the Robin in this movie. And
exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, Yoshi was all over the place. And it's hard not to like Yoshi.
Man, that was my favorite character.
And that's as lovable as Mario.
Yeah. And
think about it.
And this is his first movie.
I could see, like, yeah, we love Mario, but like, no one hates Yoshi.
No one hates Yoshi. No. Everyone loves that cute dinosaur.
Yeah.
He's always been my favorite, always will be. Now, like you said, he's Mario's trusty sidekick. I mean, right behind Luigi for me. But I mean, Luigi's his brother, so I would say it's almost like a counterpart. It's like it's part of him, whereas Yoshi truly is a sidekick. And I think that my complaint is that Yoshi didn't have enough screen time. I think I wanted more as much as he was a main. It's because he doesn't say much. I want him to be more present. But I mean, it was great. I'm glad. I'll take what I can get with the Yoshi that we got. I think Yoshi was fantastic. I also said the same thing. Not enough screen time for Bowser. That one for sure is a complaint. I feel that it could have been more. Maybe make him larger in the earlier part of the movie. I feel like being so small it made it funny, but it took away any sort of, like villainous impression of Bowser.
Yeah.
And we got it the first movie, but
part of the transition, I guess, from the,
yeah,
had to be
some sort of transition from that ending, which was a brilliant ending. I thought it was great to have him little like that. It added so much humor. And we got him large towards the end. He became big and, did his Bowser thing, but I thought, oh man, this was great. It's over. So I wanted more of it. And I think I love it more just because it is Jack Black, and I thought he did so well with it. I didn't like expect it to be that great. After the Peaches song, after his moments in the first one, I'm like, man, Jack Black is it. He was great. And I didn't know how I was going to feel about him being Bowser.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm going to throw this out there in the airwaves, but I am curious to see what people will say to this, and maybe I'll get your comments on it. One big question I have, but I am an old dude when it comes to these games. Where is King Koopa? Like, what? I mean, we got King Koopa in the original game, but like there's no mention, no cameo that I've seen, unless I missed it. Technically, Bowser is King Koopa in Monarch canon. I get that, but I mean, we also got Jumpman Mario, like as a cameo in the first one.
Japanese versus American.
It could be that, I guess. But I mean, notably, he looks a little different. I don't know. It just seemed to me, I just kind of wondered, like, no mention of that was interesting to me.
I'm thinking it has to do something with like American versus Japanese or something.
It could be. It could be the whole Street Fighter Bison thing. I mean, it could be just a name change problem. It could just be, who knows? I have no idea. That's one thing I'd like to research more.
Someone tell us.
Write us, please, and put me in my place.
Yeah.
Watch, I'm totally wrong. There is a cameo or something.
No, it was pretty cool though in the movie when they did have the you know, the fight scene or whatever, and then it shows it what it looks like in the 2D version of it, right? Bowser,
Yeah.
after he axes
That was brilliantly done.
the rope, right?
I thought that was cool. There was like those visuals that took it back to 2D again, just for those moments. And I can't recall it doing that in the other one.
No,
Not quite in that way.
no, they were running the level that one time but it was still, yeah, I remember.
They had a 2D angle, yeah, and then he did the flag thing. But like this seemed like it paid homage. Cutscene, yeah, an exact cutscene, which was kind of cool. And
8-bit.
yeah. And I know that when kids see that now, I wonder, like, I even wonder what
the heck?
what does your little girl think when she sees that? Like, is that just so like just so different for her?
No, I don't think,
Doesn't register.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just this, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Kids would wonder why, but okay. The kid looks so little.
good question. I'd ask her, but then she'd probably be like, "What are you talking about?" Right?
Yeah, what are we talking about? They might even argue that's not really Mario. Mario is Mario Galaxy, or it's interesting to know. Visuals. Let's go into visuals. I think we kind of touched on it already. I think that the visually pleasing, palette in this whole thing, I think that it was pretty much matched par and par with the first one. What do you think? Would you say on visuals as far as CG and the way the colors were? And
Yeah, definitely the color's good. I've seen the planet hopping and all that was pretty cool. I think I liked the visuals again. Very nice. Ooh, ah. But what I missed though from this was the visuals, the fighting visuals from the first movie. I feel like there was better fight scenes and better this and that kind of going on again. But like everything was just kind of quick and choppy in the Galaxy movie.
like, what fight would you say on that first one comes to mind?
At the very end, right?
When they're in the streets fighting?
When they're in the streets, they get the star, and that fight scene, it's just your heart's racing.
Yeah.
Totally racing.
Forgot about that part. You're right.
You don't really kind of have that in this movie.
Yeah.
It's not that one big, exciting,
It was one segment after another, kept going.
just kind of, yeah, exactly. It just kind of kept rolling and rolling, going.
It's a good point. I didn't think about that. That's something to consider. I didn't even remember that part of that. But you're right. There was no major fight scene or
The Fox McCloud, they could have done a little more with that. Like, I was remember him like busting out some like laser, I don't know. Like,
yeah. There was a little more that could have been done.
could have been something more.
I think they're trying to not be too Super Smash Brothers too quickly. I think these cameos, they're being careful. I get that. They could do more though.
Speaking of which, Mr. Game & Watch,
Yeah,
that was a cool game.
that was a good cameo. And we're getting a bunch of these things. And are we thinking for sure it's going to happen? What do you think? Super Smash Brothers movie?
Yeah.
How could they not? All right.
I feel like it'd be too easy. It'd be like hard because it'd be too easy.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many characters now in Super Smash Brothers. How do you focus on?
Yeah. There's a lot. And I would argue,
What's the storyline of that?
yeah, I would argue, I'm more of a Marvel fan than you, I think, but when they made Avengers, the first one, that was kind of the first question I thought too. I'm like, how are you going to even pull this off with that many people and keep it simple? That's going to be even harder for Smash Brothers. There's much more characters. So interesting to note on that. We'll see. Maybe it'll have to be a trilogy if they even try. There's a lot to cover with these characters. And
Pokemon has 150, right? They do fine.
yeah, how do you even encompass,
Now they're
that?
1,000, 1,100.
Which generation do you even cover for that? Like, who knows? Yeah, there's so much there. In any case, moving on, music. Let's talk about the music. Now that we talked about Fox McCloud, you could tell these notes with the composer putting in level excerpts from the games. I thought that was brilliant. Then you had even the Fox McCloud Star Fox song come on for a quick second. Brilliantly executed because it's subtle. It doesn't take you out of the music that's already kind of happening, but it's enough to keep the movie going and pays homage to the fans. You'll hear the jingle, the certain song tune that you remember. I think that was brilliant.
Yeah. I can't be the only guy that was saying do a barrel roll.
I said it out loud. I totally said it out loud. Who wouldn't want to say that out loud? Kids are looking at us like, the heck is wrong with him?
Yeah, I was tapping the R button just like
Instinctually, you're
just like trying to roll.
roll. Oh, that was so good. The humor in this, I would say humor and tone, if we can touch on that. I think that was perfectly balanced. I think that the humor was there. There was no part that I didn't think was funny. I think I chuckled at least, almost every part that it needed to me, like needed for me to do it. How do you feel about the humor in it? Was it funny enough?
It was good, actually. I did find myself laughing quite a bit, especially, yeah, it was there from the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm glad. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was enough. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't. Yeah, it was Nintendo humor.
I think it was well balanced for kids, but also adults as well.
Yeah.
I think you could find kids laughing their butts off, and then kids, like these characters already. So
That's why this movie does so well. It plays to all audiences. It really does.
yeah, it does.
Parents can, I think they get something different from the movie than the kids, but everyone gets something from this movie.
They do. Yeah.
That makes sense. Everyone's enjoying it in a different way, but everyone's enjoying it.
Yeah. I've always said this stuff. I've always said, back when I first started Retro Game Night, that if they did an execution where these movies would start off a Nintendo and Sega thing, which is finally, thank God it's happening now. What time to be alive. But I feel like this is so much more integrated with like multi-generations. I would think it's even more of a hit than Marvel, because Marvel and DC, yes, it spans even before that, but the problem I see is there is such thing as having too much lore. There's so much gaming of one particular type of theme. If you have Mario, you have several Mario games, and then it keeps more or less the same universe. Marvel does spin-offs, it does multiverse, it gets complex. So it may not grab every generation. Whereas I think that there's more potential in Nintendo specifically for that hit. They need to tap into it.
Sure. I mean, we're going to find out how this Zelda movie is going to. Is that next year?
I believe it's next year. And then we got already greenlit. I could be wrong with this rumor, but I heard there was a greenlit already for Metroid movie ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, yeah, for sure. But I think this Zelda it's going to be interesting to see how this one lands, because that's going to be
that'll be the big telling.
And how far they can go with this thing.
Yeah.
Can they spin off and do some of these franchises solo and make them movies out of them? Or are they going to have to just kind of stick to this eye-appealing?
It's risky. It's risky. I think that, we've even seen with Star Wars, where we've had the sequels, the prequels, some are hits, some are not. And then we've even had spin-offs, one good, one not good. Box office wise, it goes up and down with these. So you're saying, you're going to a solo movie, new territory. I mean, it's a risky move, but I really, really hope it does pan out.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And we've had awesome themed movies that are fantasy come out. Cool. I would say borrow some elements. Don't do it like Lord of the Rings exactly. Make it's Nintendoism. It's got to be both.
Yeah.
It's got to be funny. It's got to be humorous, but also it's got to be faithful to the game. And I look forward to that.
The Zelda movie, though, they have to have a better story, though, right? But then again, like you were saying, Zelda is more about a story.
It is. That is a story. Yeah,
story
for sure. They call it an action RPG, or maybe just action game, adventure game. I'm going to get my throat slit for this on saying this on the podcast with all the gamers. I know there's a lot of people that argue me it's not an RPG. I get it. I would say it borrows some RPG elements. I don't think it's a full RPG, but the story's there. There's been these stories, and only to get into full Zelda, that's not this episode, but if you do the research, there's a repeating storyline, and it keeps going with these characters for a reason. They could tap into some good stuff.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's talk about rewatch value. We're almost wrapping up to get to our review, but rewatch value, I would say absolutely, this is how I would encompass how I feel about it. I would rewatch it again, yes. I would recommend it, yes and no. I would recommend it to Mario fans. I would not recommend this film to people that don't know Mario. I had to put myself in the position, if no one knew what a Mario game actually was, let's say you went with grandma and grandpa and they did not know what this was, they would be like, what in the flying hell is this? Like, they just would not get it. I think that the first movie would pay a little bit more storyline where you could understand this is a first. Right.
Or that love.
Exactly.
Rescuing.
If anything, you'll get out of it. It's a damsel in distress who's a hero to rescue. Got it. But this one was like random. Everything's going on in this one. So I would recommend this one only to people that I think that were an actual Mario fan and they would understand the premise.
I think so, yeah.
Because there's not much story.
Again, it would be hard for me to pay money to see this just because I've already seen it. I don't think I'm gonna get any more shock out of it.
Yeah.
The reason I want to rewatch it is just to see all those Easter eggs that I did miss. I know I missed a bunch.
Yeah.
So, and because that's what happened in the first one. Every time like I said, watched it, I saw something new again. So I want to watch this just to be like, okay, what did I miss again? But other than that, like, I don't know if I'm paying ticket price $20 again.
I know, and that's the other part of it. You're paying money for that.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm rushing to go see it again either. Now, rewatchability could be later streaming or rent or,
Maybe it's because I'm a sucker though. That's why. Because I paid $20 for the ticket, then I get $30 though in popcorn, soda.
That's the thing. Once you're there, they know how to market you. Is that you also collecting the things from the counter? No.
Go with my right. Trust me, I have to.
She's got to, right? There you go.
Little combo out.
This is a franchise, Michael. They know what they're doing. But yeah, you're in it to spend money, unfortunately. And then if you go to the theme park, then forget about it. Then you're way more in.
No, but it was fun though.
It was.
My daughter had fun. I had fun. That's ultimately what a movie is all about, right?
That's what you want to get out of it.
Great memory with
Right.
my daughter.
Right.
Okay.
She'll forever remember that.
Mission accomplished.
There you go. Let's break it down right before review. Strength and flaws. What would you say, Losi, was the biggest strength of this movie? You have to say one thing about it.
One thing.
One thing that was its biggest strength.
Why can't I have to pick one?
It makes it interesting. All right, I'll go first.
Okay, you go.
The biggest strength I took out of this, and it was hard. Yeah, I had to pick one, was the cast. For me, the huge names, the talents, okay, they did what I wanted out of it.
Yeah.
That was its biggest strength. I can't say cameos because I don't know if I could call it a strength in a film. I know that it kept my attention, but I can't say I want to see Mario Galaxy because of the cameos. I can't just say that. I will say they all delivered. No one I could complain about that was, oh, they're just an awful actress. Well, it doesn't matter if they're bad or not. I mean, they did good in this. So I will personally say the cast was its biggest strength for me.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be fair with you. That was one of the ones I was deciding between, actually.
Okay.
But I'm glad you went with that because now I'm going to go with my other one.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I think the cast was wonderful. It was hard. It's hard not to like these characters in the movie. It's really hard to not like any of them. Like, they're all great. Even Bowser Jr., they're all, you want to not like them, but you kind of.
But you want to.
Yeah. But then, of course, the other thing, like I mentioned at the very beginning, was it's visually appealing, right? We are 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit guys, right? That's what we grew up knowing, loving, and playing as kids. And so to actually, though, see these characters come to life is really cool. To like see what Mario Galaxy with giant Oompas stomping around would look like is pretty cool. Like, right? Like, it's like, that's what makes going to the Super Mario Land in Universal Studios so cool, right? It's just like you're going into this immersive, like, just area that you never thought could be real as a kid.
Yeah.
Is now kind of there, right? And this movie kind of does that in a way. Like,
It does do it, yeah.
especially, yeah, when you're in theaters and you got that music going and everything's just, you're kind of locked in. It's really cool, man, when you're flying through the universe. Like, it's
Yeah. We never would have thought we would have gone that as a kid to see something like that. Now we can. I agree. Now let's go with the biggest flaw. What would you say, or do you want me to go first? What is the biggest flaw of the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
I feel like I made you go first last time, man. It's not fair.
It's up to you.
The biggest flaw, again, I feel everything was rushed. And I just kept thinking that the entire time. I'm like, I can see why kids love this. I kept thinking that. I'm like, I can see why kids love this. This is like cartoon and, animation, like crack, right? I don't know how else to put it. It was just like, it's there. Boom, boom, boom. They hit. That's part of the winning formula, I think, nowadays, right? They know what our attention span is, right? It's very short, and they jump on that. And
They bank on that.
yeah, and that's what this movie kind of was. But again, the first movie at least had more. Again, there was more of the hero, right, and rescuing a Peach, and more of that love story, and there was more of an emotional attachment.
Yeah.
I think because of that story, whereas this one, yeah, it was hard to get a little emotional. It was just more kind of like dopamine hit.
Yeah, it totally was.
Like you said, the visuals are great, the music's great, and that's what I think they played on really well in this movie. But they could have just gone a little deeper emotionally, kind of a little bit deeper in the story. I mean, they tried to, right, with Bowser and Bowser Jr.
Yeah,
Deep as it gets.
that's about as deep as you can go.
I mean,
They touched on their relationship. Yeah, yeah. No, that's true. I failed to see that one. I forgot about that. You're right. There was a little touch on that, but not enough to like say that was a big moment. Really,
could have went more into that.
it could have gone more. Yeah,
Yeah, right. Everything was kind of shallow. When it came to that.
I agree. My biggest complaint, and I would say the biggest flaw with the Super Mario Galaxy movie, is not very accessible to general audiences. I already touched on this. It's just something that isn't going to be widely received because some people just simply don't get it. It's just one that it is fan service. It is one that you go in, this sequel is meant for the fan. And if you're not, you might have a hard time catching up with what's happening. There's so much going on. And I think a lot of people may take it for face value. Wow, that was visually cool. That was neat. A lot of colors. I don't know any of these characters. That's as much as I can say. And I think that's maybe what some people might say. So I think that was the biggest flaw. It could have been more widely. I don't know how. I can't quite give you that plot as an answer. But I can see the flaw in that. And I don't think it's one to complain about myself that I would change personally. I think it could just stay the way it is. But if I had to pick one, that would be it. And it needed more retro characters, but that's just me because I'm old.
Metroid, or it
Could have been more. Always more. Now, I think we're going to finally finish this up. We're going to do a review. Normally, we do our super ultra scientific review, which is showcase toilet paper and rent it or lose it. But I think because it's a movie, you need to be a little more IMDb about this. I think we're going to do a score 1 through 10. I think that's what I want to incorporate with movie ones, because you can give me both if you want, but I'm going to give you a number because I felt like it was hard for me to do our 3 tier for this one, because it's like, I think I need some 0.5s in here. I need some so I can give you mine first, that way you think about your number. I would think that the system, of course, is very accurate. The scientists are trying to figure out how they came up with it, but in reality, it's just 1 through 10. My number 1 is, why does this even exist? And my number 10 is, this changed my life forever. I'm going to get real and tell you that I think that the Super Mario Galaxy movie in 2026 deserves a number 8 for me. Didn't get anywhere near a 10 because of the things I mentioned. I got super excited seeing this though, and that levels it up over a 5 or a 6 for me. 7, I wouldn't give it because I was really pleased with the cast and the cameos. That bumps it up to an 8 for me. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Definitely recommend it to those that know the franchise. And now I turn it to you, Mr. Losi. What number do you give this movie?
I'm not too far off, but you might have convinced me to change my answer a little bit.
There you go.
Because I was going to kind of go with mediocre, but you're right though. This cast is great, right? And I was clapping, I was cheering in the movie. Yeah, so it's like I can't. What other movies do I do that in?
True. That's a good point.
If I really think about that, I don't really do that in many movies.
It's a true point.
Yeah. So as much as I was a little disappointed in it, I did love it. Right. So there is that. And so, yeah, I got to give it a fair 7.
All
I think
right.
it's a fair 7.
I think that's a very fair number.
With my daughter, that number goes higher. I'm going to enjoy myself more because I know she's going to enjoy herself. So,
Yeah, that bumps it up even more.
but for myself, I'm being honest. I think it's a 7. It's good. And I think some of the critics, though, that I was reading from this movie were being very harsh.
They were being very harsh.
And again, probably some of those individuals that you're talking about, right? They're people that just didn't play this. Their world is somewhere completely else. Yeah, they have no idea who or what Mario and his companions are all about. That's probably what's going on. But to be honest with you, I loved it. So,
And that's the hill we will die on, kids.
we're gamer nerds. Let's be honest.
We are the ultimate nerds. Yeah, no, we're the ones that paying those tickets, and we don't care about $25 that time to do it. But that's our review, guys. What was a hit or not for you for this film? I always appreciate your guys' messages. Sorry I don't get to read them all, but yeah, tell us your review. Tell us what you guys think of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, as always, and always appreciate you guys dropping in a line. Till then, Michael Osi, where can people find you on the socials?
They can find me on Instagram at Michael_Losi.
Exciting stuff. He just went to Japan. You see all the photos there. And if you're watching the YouTube of this, you'll see his nice fancy shirt he got. Fancy.
Highly recommend it. It was amazing.
All right. And you can find me at Damien_DeCarlo and Retro_Game Night for all our podcast stuff. Until next time, everybody, make sure you keep calm and game on. Good night, everybody.